Now for me, the Maybach line of Mercedes, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. It's all mainly because of one thing. It's because of Mercedes themselves. Now Mercedes are branding Maybach as their ultimate luxury line of sedans. But the problem with that is they already have another line of ultra luxury sedans, the S-Class. And basically the Maybach's a bit more luxury version of the S-Class, but when you look at it, it's not that different. That's the one problem. And second thing is, it's even more expensive. So while the S-Class is competing with other cars like the 7 Series and the Audi S8, I think. Yeah, those cars. And so obviously Mercedes wins on the luxury front, even though BMW is catching up now. The Maybach line is competing with a whole nother segment. They're basically, the Maybachs are basically competing with the likes of Bentley and maybe to a certain extent Rolls-Royce. But when you compare it to those other luxury brands, it can't match up. I mean, which is another issue. So basically, it can't match up to those brands, and it's also competing with its own lineup, the S-Class lineup. So I don't know why the Maybach line exists. I mean, the Maybach SUV definitely directly competes with the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. That's why people, even if the price is more, people do look at them similarly. Yeah. I don't know why this lineup exists. Now, it would have worked if the S-Class didn't exist. I mean, they could have just gotten rid of the S-Class at a certain point and just made Maybach their S-Class lineup. That would have made perfect sense. The ultimate Mercedes. And when you compare it to the ones lower than the S-Class, yeah, you see the huge difference and you can understand the pricing. But because the S-Class is there, S-Class seems a little bit of an option. It's cheaper and similar enough. And you have the Mercedes badge. And honestly, I think for most people, the S-Class badge is a lot more recognizable than the Maybach badge. For regular people at least. Everyone knows what an S-Class is. When you think about Mercedes, you think about the S-Class. But the Maybach, it's not that commonly known. I mean, people who love luxury cars and know about cars, they all obviously know it and understand it. But for most people, that's not the case. That's another issue. And I don't know how Mercedes could fix it. And one thing they could do is probably cut one of the lines. Either the S-Class or the Maybach. But the S-Class is so iconic. It's been around forever and everyone loves it. How could they cut it? Now, in my opinion, I think they could cut the GLS line and make the Maybach SUV. Because honestly, when the S-Class compared to the Maybach sedan, it's a little too close. But when you compare it to the Maybach SUV to the GLS, then actually I think you see a bit of a difference. I think they could easily replace the GLS with the Maybach. Now it would seem a little strange if they only made their most luxurious car was apparently an SUV, but I mean, it could work considering that everyone's moving towards SUVs these days. I mean, as nice as luxury sedans are, everyone wants practicality, at least the people who are driving. If people who are being chauffeured around, they wouldn't mind the long sedan, but people who are driving SUVs, they prefer I think they love the Maybach lineup. So yeah, but the sedan wise, I don't know what they're going to do about it. It's a little too complicated. I mean, another option could come up that Bentleys might stop making Bentleys, then it would be an easy option, but I don't think Bentleys are going to be stopping making Bentleys anytime soon. Yeah, that's not going to happen. They have too much brand value to stop doing that. But that's the issue with the Maybach lineup. And I don't know why it exactly exists today.